they don't really have a established brand. People don't really know who they are, but they think coming out the gate they're supposed to charge you a king's ransom. So where did you even get that concept to say, you know what, I'm going to delve in, I'm going to show everybody what I can do, and then from there I'll let it take off. First I wanted them to be able to see my value. Like where did you get that concept?
It it was very organic. Honestly, it was the spur of the moment. But I will preface that statement by saying, at 10 years old, and my twin sister and I were on the street going door to door doing candy sales and would kill it every single time. So I think a little bit of my entrepreneurial mindset and psychology kicked in at that point and said, you know what? If this is really what you're going to do, you have to have a test market. You have to have a beta market. So whether people like it or not, it's free, no harm, no foul. And so that I think that the genesis of give and it shall be given unto you. I mean, I know that I'm a spiritual girl, so if that's off limits, just like but I kind of dipped into that mindset and said if they really like it, they'll be inspired to get more. And so my investment in time ahead of time, whether it pans out or not, I know based off of a numbers game, I am absolutely going to get, if I vet 10 people, at least 2 people are going to work with me. And so I figured the time that I spent doing 10 versus getting a client for 2, that I would make the money back that of the time that I used. So and it actually worked out that way. It worked better than I thought.
What's up, everybody? It's Willie and Alex from the Black Culture Podcast. I know you ready to get into this video, but before you do that,
Make sure to subscribe to our channel and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at the Black Culture Podcast.
enjoy the video.
Willie, man, you remember a few weeks ago we were, obviously the podcast hasn't been going on that long. We started in I think October, November-ish, and from day one we was like, man, we need to have our own brand.
Yeah, I do.
And it was like I was online looking for somebody to like create us a logo, basically create our whole image. And you hit me up and was like, "Man, we the Black Culture Podcast. We need to have somebody black design our brand." I
Yeah.
was like, "You know, you absolutely right, bro." And so I reached out to Johnny, and I had forgotten that I had worked with someone like maybe 2, 3 years ago when I was with the band that I was helping to manage, and it was a lady, and she did an amazing job. I didn't know the full scope of what she can do, and so Johnny reminded me of her, and I reached back out to her, man. And as of this moment now, bro, we got our brand,
Yes,
and
sir.
this is Women's Week on the Black Culture Podcast. So who better to have on? So tonight we got a very special episode, bro. We got our brand precision expert. And she's actually a celebrity brand precision expert, something that I didn't know. I'm gonna just read off real quick her bio. She's helped more than 3,000 celebrities, artists, entrepreneurs, and small business owners
Whew.
navigate their brand. She's an award-winning speaker. She's been featured on VH1, Fox, ABC, Market Watch, Ask.com, and most recently live with Les Brown, discussing her innovative project, the Celebrity Sales Method.
That's a
First
bad
time,
black woman right there.
I
Oh
know,
my
man,
God.
that was a mouthful, but for the first time ever, as well as for the first week ever, Women's Week on the Black Culture Podcast, we would like to welcome to the Black Culture Podcast, Sherita Carthon. How you doing?
Hi guys. Hello everyone. Hello, hello, hello.
How are
I'm
you?
so excited to be here. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. This has actually been on my bucket list. I mean, when you guys actually let me know that you were doing it, I was just so excited and just wanted to be able to talk to you guys and just really just chop it up. So I'm excited. Let's go. Let's talk about this.
We excited
Yeah,
that you're here. Thank you.
yeah, and thank you for making it such a fun experience for us.
Yeah.
I've worked with, I don't know about Willie, but I worked with quite a few. I wouldn't necessarily call them brand experts. They
Hmm.
were great designers, but
Yeah.
you made it fun. You made it something to look forward to. Like me and Willie texting each other every single day, like, bro, any day now, man.
I
Any
know,
day.
right? It's like a kid in the candy store. Like, she said it's gonna be this week. I can't wait. Like, and my wife was behind me every step of the way. Like, yo, she is good. Then you sent one. I was like, I like that. Then you sent another. I was like, man, I like that one too. Then you sent another. I was like, oh my god, I don't know what to choose now.
And I gotta
Well,
give Willie his flowers too, because that initial image that he sent,
yeah.
I was just like, man, you on a different planet, bro. Like,
You said it was gonna be different, man. It wanted to be
yeah, I
different.
know, right? So we can't wait for that. But let's get into you.
Yeah.
Uh, we always love to ask our guests.
Hold on, wait,
Oh man, dude,
wait.
I'm
Now,
tripping. I'm
come on
tripping. Hey,
now.
Sharita, we have a tradition on the show that I
Okay.
usually always forget, and that is before we get started, we like to toast it up.
Oh my gosh, guys, I am so unprepared. I don't even have anything to drink right next
Do
to me.
your imaginary cup.
Right
There
here.
you go.
So,
Thank you. There you go.
Thank you for reminding me for the 1,000th time, Willie. I really appreciate
Absolutely, my brother.
yes, protocol.
that. So okay, let's get into Sharita Carthon. Who is Sharita Carthon?
All right, so I call myself a brand precision expert because over the last 20 years, I've been able to really hone in on a person's brand and really trying to figure out the psychology behind a logo, a brand, not just actually just creating something out of the thin air and just saying here. Just every time I sit down and I work with a client, I'm really thinking about what it is that they're trying to accomplish, what audience that they're trying to get to, and also how that is going to translate across all levels of multimedia. And so, because we are now in a world where everything is digital, everything is visual, I think about that. I think about that. And so, just talking about you guys' brand as I was creating it and being able to really think about who you guys are, what you're trying to accomplish, and then how that logo or that image and that brand is going to translate, not just now, but 50 years from now. Just like McDonald's being able to understand what that looks like, that's what I do. And so it's a joy and an honor for me to create brands because I understand that sometimes that when people create amazing things, that they don't understand psychologically what it needs to look like in order for the message that you're trying to get to your customer, and also them being able to pick up on what it is that you're putting down. So,
Mm.
yeah, so that's my job, to bridge the gap between those two ideas.
Hey guys, it's Willie from the Black Culture Podcast. I know you're enjoying this dope interview, but before you continue,
Make sure to like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at the Black Culture Podcast. Hmm.
So I
So,
do.
so take us back throughout your journey on how you got started to become a brand precision expert. Like, let's go back to the beginning. How did you one start? How did you recognize that there was a need for this in the first place? And as well as being a woman, a black woman in this space that's usually dominated by white men, right?
Okay, so the simple answer is that I went to Wilberforce University, and I actually went to school for not for graphic design, for journalism. And so once I got into journalism, I wrote for the Gannett USA Today newspaper chain and a lot of their newspapers, but I realized that it was something that I really didn't want to do. And just like most people who are in college who's undecided, or they have gone after something for a long period of time, um, and they get down to the last semester and they're like, I don't know what I want to do. And so what happened is, in that time period, I took a graphic design class. And in that graphic design class, I really got into it to the point where I forgot what I was doing. And so what happened was, I just came back to the table and I said, you know what, I really like this. So I got inspired, but then I was sad because I said to myself, I spent literally 4 years doing something that I'm not going to do for the rest of my life. And so when I get inspired, I do one thing, guys. Guess what that one thing is?
What is it?
Guess what the one thing is?
Let me see if I can guess
When I get
this.
inspired, I do one thing.
You get focused.
No, not focus, yeah, but something else.
You
Oh,
create.
What do you think I did?
You created something.
Nope, I got hungry.
you got hungry.
I didn't want to say that. Listen, I thought that, but I'm like, I'm not gonna be the one to say it. I was hoping
Yo,
Alex said
that is right up my alley, though. I can tell you that right now.
it.
I got hungry, and so I went to go get something to eat. And for those people in Cleveland, Ohio, there's a specific restaurant named Kim's Wings. And I
Hmm.
went to Kim's Wings, and if you know anything about Kim's Wings, there is a wall where there's multiple advertising on the wall. I mean, you can find a babysitter, you can find a guy to cut your
Oh
lawn.
yes.
Yeah, right. And so what I did at that time was I
Hold
just
on, wait. You can't explain that without explaining to the audience what sauce you got. Did you get the sweet baby Jesus sauce or
I
which
never
sauce is?
I always get the regular traditional barbecue sauce.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't even know if there was another one.
I didn't know either. He talking about some sweet baby Jesus.
Yeah, I might be talking about a different place. I
You
don't
got
know.
to be talking about a different place, not at Kim's.
I thought it was Kim's. Okay, I'm sorry. Please continue.
Okay. So while I was waiting for my food, and at Kim's sometimes it's a little bit of a wait. It's okay. So I just began to pull everybody's business card, their flyers off the wall. I took it home, and I just started getting into a design mode. I just started designing it. So what happened was when I was finished, I would literally call the persons who put up the advertisement and say, "Hey, I redesigned your logo. You can have it for free. If you're going to use it or not, it's no problem whatsoever. And if it works for you, if you need any more help, I can help you. If not, it's a free logo for free." And so I did that for about 100 people, 100 people
Wow.
over the course of 3 months.
Wow.
Yo, hold on. Wait. I'm sorry to cut you off. So I remember when I was getting into starting a podcast. I remember I would listen to a lot of motivational speakers like Steve Harvey, and they would say, when you create something, give your first batch out for free. So people will know, like, hey, this is what I do, this is how good I am. So to hear you say that, game, I peep it. Yes.
You know
And
what? Let's delve into that for a quick second, because especially for the up and coming entrepreneurs who want to make money from day one,
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they don't really have a established brand. People don't really know who they are, but they think coming out the gate they're supposed to charge you a king's ransom. So, where did you even get that concept to say, you know what? I'm going to delve in. I'm going to show everybody what I can do, and then from there, I'll let it take off. First, I wanted them to be able to see my value. Like, where did you get that concept?
it it was very organic. Honestly, it was the spur of the moment. But I will preface that statement by saying, at 10 years old, and my twin sister and I were on the street going door to door doing candy sales and would kill it every single time. So I think a little bit of my entrepreneurial mindset and psychology kicked in at that point and said, you know what? If this is really what you're going to do, you have to have a test market. You have to have a beta market. So whether people like it or not, it's free, no harm, no foul. And so that I think that the genesis of give and it shall be given unto you. I mean, I know that I'm a spiritual girl, so if that's off limits, just like but I kind of dipped into that mindset and said if they really like it, they'll be inspired to get more. And so my investment in time ahead of time, whether it pans out or not, I know based off of a numbers game, I am absolutely going to get, if I vet 10 people, at least 2 people are going to work with me. And so I figured the time that I spent doing 10 versus getting a client for 2, that I would make the money back that of the time that I used. So and it actually worked out that way. It worked better than I thought, because I didn't realize that at that time, which was 20 years ago, that graphic design is a very, very in high demand, still to this day, very in high demand profession. So um so that's how I started. That's how I got into a business. That's how I broke in. And people were shocked because I mean it's just like someone showing up to your house and saying, "Hey, here is $100. I know you don't know me, but I just felt like you needed it." And they're like, so the natural human psychology says, "Okay, wait a minute. They just gave you $100. What can I do for them? What? So yeah,
And so up until then, you'd never had your own business or in any case been an entrepreneur on your own. So you were just basically feeding off a passion. Like I know what I can do. I know that I can help people. And so I'm just gonna show the world what I can do and see where it goes from here. So no business plan, no marketing plan, just put yourself out there.
straight before guerrilla marketing term was a thing. Guerrilla marketing, straight heart, straight passion, no business plan, just one idea, one concept, grab an advertising off the wall, go home, redesign it, call them, see if they like it, see if they want to go further. That was it.
I
And
have. Oh, I'm
that
sorry.
one method, oh, I'm sorry, that one method has netted me over 3,000 clients and cumulative over the last 20 years, I've made about $3.5 million off of graphic design.
Oh, goodness,
Numbers.
man.
I love it.
It may be a little bit more, but that's like the bear.
Hey, look. I like how you say, that's like the lowest.
That's a little something, something.
Yeah, it's
Just
more,
throw a number out there.
right. Yeah.
So I have a question I love to ask. I asked
Okay.
one of the ladies this we had on this past Sunday. When was the moment, or if you did have this moment where you was like, "Yo, I'm dope at this. Like, I'm good at this."
It wasn't until year 10.
Really?
Yeah. Even though
Wow.
even though I had the basics of graphic design down, it wasn't until 10 years later because the thing is people, okay, so I'll say this absolutely. When you get into any profession and you're doing it for the first time, it is okay that you're not perfect. The only job at that point is when once you first get in is to do it, right? It's the first is to continue to do it over and over so you can practice. My clients actually taught me what they wanted. My clients actually were the ones who said, I don't like this. And so the thing is, the reason why I now say I am a precision expert is because my clients actually taught me how to be personally in tune with who they are, not necessarily how I wanted to design. So the thing is, I would be doing several designs over and over, and people say, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. And so, as a graphic designer, as a brand designer, that kind of frustrated me because it's just like I felt like I didn't know my target market. And the truth of the reality was, I didn't know my target market. I didn't. I didn't. I didn't know my target market because I did not know how to personally be in tune with them. So even before having a conversation about how much money you want to make, what your logo wants to look like, I had to instinctually sit down with clients and talk to them, have a real conversation because the heart of any type of brand is the mindset of the person running it.
Okay. I got
Let's
one more, Alex, before you
Okay.
get in. Okay,
Go
because
ahead.
she's so good. They just coming off the top of the head. So if you've had this, what is like what would you say has been like some of your best work? Like maybe like a logo, or like what if it's like something you were like, you know what?
You know what, Willie? Before you ask that, I gotta interject because save that question for after I ask this
Okay, okay, okay.
because I want to talk about some of your early work. You talked
Ah,
about
okay.
how you had to learn your clientele, how they were the ones who taught you what they wanted.
Right.
So, talk to us about when you were first getting started, some of the frustrations that you had, maybe thinking you weren't good enough because you're going into a job or a project with one mindset. Your client has a completely different mindset. You're walking into it like, yo, I'm a dope artist. I know what I can do for you. And they're like, what you can do is great, but this is actually what I want.
Hmm.
Right. So kind of talk about those early projects where you might have had some self-doubt or you did not get the types of response that you wanted, and
Right.
in your mind you're thinking that you're not really winning.
Oh, that's such a great question. Okay. So there's been several times where I felt like I wasn't winning because a client just kept coming with the nose, right? Kept coming with the rejection. But I will let you know, well, one of them. Well, he's a client. He's still a client to this day. His name is TK. He owns several health home care businesses,
Mm,
and We were first working on a project, and it was a folder. So I had to do a custom folder for him. Now, if anyone knows anything about custom folders, my God, from High on Zion, I'd rather do a logo. I'd rather do a flyer because it's so intricate. It's so intricate. And so I did a little bit of due diligence, did a little bit of graphic design research to really, really kind of figure it out. And I sent him this design, and I was so happy about it. I was ecstatic, and I knew because I said, I know that he's going to love it. And I sent it to him, and he said to me, "You don't get it." I was like, "What do you mean?" I really I just kind of paused because I spent 20 hours, 20 hours, 20 hours. And he said, "Did you do your research?" I said, "Yeah, I did. I mean, I did my research." And he said, "I know you wrote down what I what what I told you that I wanted." I said, "Yes." As he said, "There's something missing though." I said, "Well, what's missing?" Because I feel like I gave you everything that you asked me for. I mean, and the thing is, here's okay, we're getting into dynamics of being able to be patient, okay, to be able to listen, to be able to be humble. I mean, these are things you can't teach. I can design all day, but I can't teach you how to be humble. I can't teach you how to listen, you know. And so the thing is, at that time, I wasn't hearing. He was saying it, but I wasn't hearing it. And he said, "Do you understand what my customers need from me?" And I was just like, "Yeah, I mean, they you want to have them to be in come and be your client, in home health care." And he said, "You don't understand that I am in the business of making sure that I provide the best level of customer service to every single client that I come across. And even the people who aren't working with me, when they encounter my brand, that they feel like they can trust me, and that I am someone that they want, that their mother, their sister, their daughters, even their unborn children, that every time they think about home health care, I'm the first person that they think about." And I promise you guys, I had to apologize to him. I had to apologize to him because I hadn't thought about that aspect of it at all. I had not thought about the length that I had to go through, or the things that I had to consider when crafting for this man. And we went through, guys, are you ready for this? I want you guys to guess how many drafts we had to go through before he actually gave me the thumbs up.
so my last name is Price, and I always want to make sure that the price is right. And so I'm a guess 50.
What about you, Willie?
That's what I was gonna say. So since you said 50, I'm gonna say 80.
Yeah, so it was a little bit between. It was about 60.
Oh, okay.
So if we was on the price is right, I will win.
You would have
Cause
won.
But you took my
because
answer. I was gonna say 50.
yeah, bro, you
That
you you can't
Congratulations.
overbid. That's how the price is right works.
can't be Bob Barker. That must be the other dude hosting that one.
We went through 60 revisions, and I promise
Wow.
you, I lost sleep over that project. I really did. But I was so determined to understand and get it right. And the product that I deliver, I think, is one of the best. And we were talking about which one is the best. I think for that time, it was the best project I had ever done. There's another one that I want to talk about that too, but that ranks up there in the top five, because it wasn't because it was the design was just mind blowing amazing, But for him, it was mind blowing amazing because I was able to completely capture the feeling that he wanted his customers to have the second they encountered him and his folder and his brand. And that was a process. I had to understand him. I had to know him. And so when we talk about graphic design, anybody can graphic design. It takes a strategist and it takes precision, brand precision to know your client. It's more than just a logo.
So that's because I did notice when we had our conference call with you,
Yeah.
the type of questions you ask. You know, you could have just say, "All right, I'm gonna make the logo." So how valuable was that going through that? How valuable was that of an experience was that for you?
So I'm gonna go back to Alex's last name. Let's go back to the price.
Yeah, baby.
We talked about over the course of 20 years making upwards of $3.5 million, right? And so the thing is, because I was able to actually zone in the genius of what he wanted to capture for his clients, not only did I was I able to charge him more because of, I mean, you go through 6 revisions, it's, he was willing to pay it though, but also it actually enabled me to increase my value in what I charge people because I wasn't just throwing them a random logo. I was really spending time with them to mind their mind. I literally had to jump inside. I literally had to jump inside people's mindsets in their brains in order to come back and craft what they're thinking.
So
That's not easy.
no, it's not. And I just want to highlight the fact that number one, TK, you said his name was
TK.
TK. One, he was willing to stick with you because a lot of people in business will just throw you away. But like, you know what? It's not working out after the 10th revision, right? But you guys went 60, and you have a lifelong client.
Yeah.
So
Oh, to this
he's
day.
he stuck it out with you over a couple of decades, you said.
Yes.
And
I
then
did a project for him yesterday. A folder too. It was another
see,
folder.
I mean,
And
no,
the thing is, it's so funny because the thing is, I sent him 3 different type of folders, and he was just like, I don't understand how you could just do this flawlessly now. Yeah, he was just like, I can't pick. So that's a good thing when your client can't pick. It's so good they can't pick. But yeah.
that's awesome. We actually had that same experience, by the way. We didn't want to tell you that, but yes, we had that same experience. Um,
Yeah.
and then I just want to highlight from the fact of this. Okay, so TK, I'm gonna just go out on a limb and say that this is a brother,
Yes,
right?
it is. He's
So
he's,
you
he's
know, black.
African. Yeah.
Oh wow, great. That's even so. Black people have this habit of not really giving each other a chance when it comes to business.
Hmm.
And it's not all of our fault. We know where it comes from, but the fact that not only was he willing to give you a chance, he saw something in you, but he was willing to stick it out on that first project, and he was thinking long term, right? So
Plus,
you're still doing things for him, but I want to get into this because I don't think we really explained it for our guests. Um, Explain to the audience the difference between a brand precision expert and just a regular graphic design artist. Because one, you said you put out the numbers, so now people know that you got a little change in your pocket. That's the first thing. But the fact that you could do so well, a lot of times we think about graphic design and we think it's just somebody designing a logo or t-shirt or a hat or something like that. When in fact, and I'm being informed tonight, is so much more than that. So can you explain that difference for our audience?
okay. So I'll start with the easy part, a graphic designer. So a graphic designer can randomly be able to design a logo, design a business card, design um, newsletters, that type of thing. Sometimes they're able to get into video graphics and then also websites, right? And so that's the gist of it, just marketing. A brand strategist is able to, it actually doesn't start with a logo. A brand strategist is going to start with your mindset. A brand strategist is going to understand what your customer needs from you. A brand strategist is going to be able to tap into how much money that you need to make in order to, how much money that you need to make, and how long that's going to take. So let's just say for I'll just say talk about numbers for a second. So a brand strategist for a logo might charge $2,500, right? But that logo includes everything. I mean, legal trademarking, being able to be branded across all platforms. I mean, it's just so many things, right? And so that person is also able to strategize on the social media side to be able to gauge what level of programs and products and services that you're going to be able to use in order to capture your customers' attention. So it's so much more involved. So again, graphic designer, a person who can design a logo, a business card here, there, a flyer, one off here, there. A brand strategist is actually a brand precision expert is actually able to get jump in your mindset and really pull out your entire vision of what it is you're trying to do, not only now but in the future, and be able to craft from the present to the future and be able to make sure that that entire brand translate into to money and attraction of your customers and your clients. So full on. How
Wow.
are you making money? Because a lot of people can, I mean, I can design your logo, but how does that translate into you making money? And so people who get into I call it a mastermind. People who will get into the deeper mastermind, they pay a lot more, but they are actually making sure that if they're paying 5,000 or $10,000 for a mastermind, that they're actually going to make 2.5 million or so over a course of a number of years. That they can actually guarantee that. You know.
Okay, so first of all, you are definitely
Okay, go
making
ahead.
the Black Culture Podcast merch.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
So that's a most
Money.
definitely, bro. Okay.
That's
That's
a given right
see,
there.
we
Yes,
having a
sir.
price conversation. We having a price conversation.
And so after like your first few projects, when did momentum start to gain? Like when did things really start to pick up for you?
Year three.
Year three.
Mm-hmm. Year three, because I was consistent. Because I was consistent. And here's the thing: after a while, if you're consistent and people can count on you, I've seen graphic designers or even brand designers, even marketers that have just not the greatest graphic designs, and because they were consistent and because they stayed in the market, they're still making money and they're still being booked.
And I want to this is going back a little bit, but I want to go back to where you was what's his name? TK?
Okay. Hmm.
In that moment, was there ever a time where you thought like, you know what, this ain't it? Like was it a moment where you thought about just
Every
quitting
day.
like I'm about to go do something else?
Every day.
So what made you not quit?
Every
Was it
day.
passion that what made you not give up and not quit?
I enjoy guys like you, right? I enjoy being able to know that the very thing that I'm doing will actually make a difference in not only your life but the life that that people encounter with your brand. And so I've had the opportunity to just be on Facebook randomly and just watch someone post a flyer, right? And it's a flyer that I designed, and people will say, "Oh my God, that flyer is so hot!" That I'm a little egotistical. I'm an artist in a certain way, so I'm a little sensitive about my stuff. But it's just like I love. It's just nothing. Sometimes for me, nothing compares to the feeling of knowing that what you're doing is not just being done out of thin air, that is actually translating, is actually getting the attention that it's supposed to get. So can we talk a little bit about the flyer that I did for this podcast?
Absolutely. That flyer was fire.
Bro, like I got a message from the from Yazara St. James. I don't know if you guys know her. She is the background singer and partial vocal coach for Erica Badu.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, she
You just
called.
gonna name drop Erica Badu like that and expect us to just gloss over it? You just getting calls from backup singers from Erica Badu. We not about to just gloss over that, but go ahead.
Well, no, you know what's funny? So I grew up with Duran. You
Yeah,
you know Duran, so I
yeah,
know him, but I don't know any of the other singers.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I think I know where this is going.
yeah.
Yeah, I got a call from Erica Badu, backup singer, but that's nothing.
Well, I'm working with her right now on a project. That's the only reason why.
You working with Erica?
I'm working with Erica Badu's. But I'm working with Yazra.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, so it's some stuff that might be coming down the pike too with Eric as well. So stay tuned. But yeah, so no, I just she called me and she was like, Sharita. I mean, that's so
Look
that's
at her.
she
Look at
included.
her.
It's no, it's not even vanity. I think like these are the things that I get excited about. I mean, it's just kind of like a musician on Sunday morning and that keep that organist hits a chord and then all of the other musicians be like, they give you the stank ugh face, you know what I'm saying? It's the same thing for us. It's just like, if someone outright just calls your name, you're like just they don't even say anything. They just Sharita. It feels good. It does. But at the same time, the second most valuable thing that I get that I'm excited about is that I know that my customers are producing. That my customers are producing. Usually we start with a logo, but at the end of it, if my by within a year, if my customers don't have merch or courses or something that ends up in monetization, we have to have a conversation because you have to be making money. You have to be, because the thing is, I think of making money as actually providing the most value and solving a problem for your audience. And so I know the Black Culture Podcast is new, but within a year, 2 years, it's like you guys have the most amazing video and the most amazing
I
graphic.
love it.
You know what I'm saying? And top notch backgrounds and stuff like that. And it's
Absolutely.
just like that's where we have to go. You know what I'm saying? Because that means that you are touching people on a whole nother level that is just beyond you. And that's what matters, right? Because money is a translation of how many people that you're actually helping. That's what your bank account should look like. So if you're helping a million people, you should have multi millions, right? If you're helping a couple of 100,000, that's what it should look like that.
That's game right there.
Period.
And I'm glad you said that because you don't go into it from the aspect of
Mm,
you want to make money. You want your clients to make
I
money. You want
do
your clients to be successful. You're like, I'm
absolutely.
I'm 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 on the journey with you. Let me
Yeah.
ask you about this, right? So I find often in our community there's this hustle mindset versus treating what you do as a business.
Hmm.
So in your space and in our space and a lot of other spaces, you'll have people who have a boatload of talent, but it's like we're always in this mode of we gotta hustle, we gotta grind it out. When did you start treating your art, your skill set, and recognize that it was an actual business you can build wealth from, opposed to it just being a hustle where you can make a few dollars here and there?
If you want me to be honest, for the last 3 years, I've been in this for 20 years. 20 plus years. In the last 3 years is when I actually structured. So here's the crazy thing about it. Um, even before the even before I solidified stuff, I was still working with celebrities. I was still working with influencers and small business owners and entrepreneurs. So I will tell you this: people will work with you if you are good. People will work with you regardless, but if you are serious about who you are and what you do, it's just like solidify it, right? Make it official, right? Because the thing is you want to be taken seriously. I have another story for you guys. There was artist that I was working with and he's in LA right now. And you guys may know him. His name is James Agnew.
Oh, Moot.
Yeah, Mook.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you I work with everybody.
Hmm.
So a couple years ago, he had a project that he was working on, and he came in from LA. My gosh, for the life of me, I cannot remember the name of the project, but it was the Artist Alliance. That's what it was. And so he had the Artist Alliance, and he had some of the heavy hitters to come in. And he came to me and he said, "Hey, Sharita, I need you to set up the entire event. I need you to get some graphics. I need a step and repeat. I mean, I need volunteers. I need photos. I need the whole nine." And so, in my vein of excellence and being able to wanting to execute that, I did it, and it was It was amazing. It was amazing, right? And so afterwards, he came to me and he said, "So you did an amazing job doing this. I mean, is this something that you do?" And I was took that was another TK moment for me. And then I was just like, "What do you mean? What is this? Is this what you do? I just did this for you. I just Did you not
Right.
just see what I just did?" And he was like, "Where's your website, Sharita?" He was like, "How are people gonna know how to book you? How, I'm getting ready to go back to LA. I'm talking to Lettucey and several other people. And how am I going to be able to pitch you? And you're doing websites for other people who don't have a website. You're doing events for people, and you don't even have a portfolio of the events that you've done.
Hmm.
How can people pay you? How can people take you serious?" And I was pissed off. I was mad because I'm like, "How could you not see? Don't you see what I just did for you?" But what he was saying is something much deeper. He was saying, "I need to take you serious because I know that you're good at what you do, but I can't see you. Can't see you." And so when we're talking about the hustle, when we're talking about not having our stuff together, which is so crazy because in the next 15 days, everything about what I'm getting ready to do is getting ready to shift. So
Okay. Well,
you
we
can
you know
agree.
we gonna have to get into that, but keep going.
Yeah. So from that point on, I actually had an opportunity to build my own website, and it was just as great as is what I did for other people. And we talked and chatted back and forth, and he was like, "Shrita, that's what I'm talking about." And ever since then, I mean, you once you really start to get serious about your craft and what you do, people will begin to your name will be in people's mouth. Just like you guys found out about me from Johnny Parker, and then Johnny's worked with me, and he said, "Listen," he said, "everybody I know, I'm gonna tell them it may be a while before you can get in with her, but if you can get in with Sherita Carthon, it'll be worth your while."
Okay, first off, I have one question. Do you make backdrops?
I do.
Okay, we'll talk. Okay. Alex.
Listen, we
You
gonna get
silly,
you
bro.
some backdrop. Listen,
No, it's funny.
backdrop.
We've been talking about this for weeks. Like we
Yeah.
definitely want our backdrop done. But
Oh, yeah.
I actually want to piggyback off the point you just made.
Yeah.
You were taking other people's business more serious than your own.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why do you think that was, or why do you think that is? Like with us, we take other people's business more serious. Like, look, here's what I can do for your business, and they look at your business. It's like, wait a minute, bro. You talking about you can take my business serious, and I'm looking at your business, and your business isn't anywhere remotely of where it needs to be. Why do you think that mindset was there?
It's a simple answer: value. I didn't value myself. I was doing some amazing designing things for some amazing people, and I thought they were more amazing than me. That I didn't feel, honestly, that what I offered them that I deserved for myself. And this is like real talk. I really I felt that because they were perceivably higher than me or perceivably more well established than I was, that I would show them my worth by providing the best service ever. And so it came down to the point where there's this young lady, her name is Lucky Harris. I don't know if you guys know her, but she's a Reiki healer, and she's like she's a spiritualist healer. And she came to me and she said, "Sharita," she said, "you're worth everything that you're giving to your clients." She said, "But you're worth that." And so I had to go through a whole mindset shift and a mindset change for myself to realize that I deserve everything that I'm given. And so once I began to act, I had to train myself. I literally had to train myself to believe that, because I didn't believe that at all. And and the thing is, I will say this just in earnest, is that you can fake the funk, like, that you're the greatest and you could be amazing, but it's just like being in a new relationship. The first 3 months is amazing and it's wonderful. And then, like, that fourth month, the makeup comes off and the lashes come off, right? You can't fake it anymore. And so around year 7 or 8, it hit me that I couldn't do this no more. And so then that's when, at that point, I started getting photo shoots. I started putting together, as you know, I had to get a step and repeat. I had to get a retractable banner. I had to just do all of these things that I was telling my clients to do. And then I started to shape up with that. And then what happened was my income shot through the roof, because I no longer relied on my clients to bear the weight of my value. I had my own level of value, and so whether people work with me or not, um, it was okay, because I knew what I had. I knew what I was worth. But it was a work. It wasn't. It wasn't. That was probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do, was convince myself that I was worth what I was giving my clients.
Okay, I have a two-part question for you.
Okay.
The first question is, do you feel that women in this business, do you feel they value themselves enough? And the second question I have, being the successful businesswoman you are, do you sometimes find that other businessmen may be intimidated by you? Or do you feel like you may, even though you're good at what you do you feel like sometimes people still try to choose the man over you, even though you're good at what you do? You've worked with so many people. Do you still feel that level of sexism there?
Okay.
Those are great questions.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So let's the first question. Let's do the first question, because I have short term memory. So I was like, let's do the first question. So the first question was, do I say it again? Really, the first
Oh,
part of the
the
question.
first one was, do you feel that women in this business value themselves enough?
Okay, perfect. Value. No, no, no. Women. I call it the neighbor syndrome. If I can explain that a little bit. So the neighbor syndrome is this: is that for women specifically, we will make sure that our neighbor has it all. And we will make sure our neighbor has sugar. We will make sure our neighbor has a pie, not a slice of pie, the whole pie. We wanted some, but we gave them the pie. And we the milk, the cow. They don't even have to milk the cow. We'll milk the cow for them, and give them the milk as well. This is what we do. We make sure the neighbor is taken care of, and the neighbor may translate as our husband, our partner, our kids, so we are always put in a position where we're having to serve someone else besides ourselves. And so 9 times out of 10, a woman is going to not, it's not even that the marketplace doesn't value her. She puts herself in a position where she doesn't value herself. She wears herself down to the bone, and then gives herself the scraps. And so the thing is, in the marketplace, and I'm not trying to be sexist or anything, but a man will be chosen in this specific marketplace because graphic design branding is a very high turnover business, meaning that you want your graphics. If you put in the order today, you want your graphics tomorrow, right? So it's very aggressive. And men tend to show up quicker because they don't have the responsibility of having to cook dinner or take care of the kids or anything like that. They can really in whole heart concentrate on their profession. So, and then it's not even that a woman is more capable, it's just we have a whole bunch of stuff that we have to contend with before we even get to the business of what of what it is. And so Yeah. Do women struggle in this area? Yeah, they do. We do. We fall short all the time because of that, you know? But is it our weakness? Nah, I mean, some women will. I mean, just like Beyonce said, you can bear the children and get back to work. There's a whole crop of women who said, I don't care what I have on my table. I am going to show up. I am going to come to the table. I am going to slay. I am going to make it happen. I'm going to get it done. And I can do I'm going to do what I have to do. But that only comes, guys, when people know their value. Like, if you don't understand your value or you're not putting yourself first, it's going to translate in business, period. Period. And so when women again value themselves and they understand their value, they're going to put themselves first and then line everything up accordingly. Those that don't understand their value or know what they bring to the table, they're going to allow all of those life excuses, like having kids, having to do all these things, before they can really, provide and really come to the table. So that's the first part of the question.
This is an amazing interview, by the way. I just wanted to let you know that.
Thank you.
You are dropping gems. You definitely giving up
Straight
the
killing
game.
it.
I want to piggyback off of that, though, what you just said.
Okay.
Um, as Black people, we've always been told we have to be twice as good.
Yeah.
We have to work twice as hard. We got to be smarter. We got to be better, et cetera, et cetera. And that hasn't really changed over the years. It's still going on very strong today. But specifically for Black women, do you feel Black women think they have to be even better than that twice as good? They got to be better than not just men, but Black men in order to be accepted, to be taken serious?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. African American women have been bred at this point of the game to feel like that there is no one there to rescue you. And so I mean, this is a whole nother conversation. but Black women have been bred to be masculine, so dare I say it. And the reason why is because we've been fed this idea that there there aren't African American men that are viable enough to match our fly. And so the thing is, African American women are prone to get PhDs and have higher bouts of education or earn, their six figure, second figure, seven figure, eight figure earners, right? And so they feel like, okay, if I make more, if I, it's almost like we have to push ourselves up and be boisterous, and there has been a culture created where African American women feel like we have to match up or pair up, or basically it's like spar up with our African American men, but we really don't have to, right? We really don't. It's not that deep. But that's the culture that has been created to make us feel like we have to compete with you, but we don't. Every single person has their level of service, you know what I'm saying? So I'll just take it on this side. I'm married to an amazing Carthan man, right? And so if anyone knows about the last name Carthan, they're going to associate it with, both my husband and my brother-in-law, who are giants in the music industry, right? And so the thing is, as a person who is married into the Carthon lineage, right? I'm coming in on another side of marketing. And so the thing is, in my marriage, I can honor and respect my man as him being a musician, and then I can compliment him on the marketing side, right? And so as for me, knowing who I am and knowing what I can do, I was able to get him in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as the first African American man who released a gospel concert at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
You go,
Wow.
girl.
You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? And so my thing is this, is that under if African American women really understood their power, but then they also understood how they can match up with the African American man to really maximize that power, they would never compete. Ever. Never.
You know
Because
what?
the thing is, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, 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 no. Go ahead. I
Yeah.
don't want to interrupt. I'm sorry.
No, I just feel that um we've been sold a bill of goods where we have been our heads have been pumped up to make us feel like we have to be more, and the thing is, there's nothing wrong with making money. There's nothing wrong with African American women being about their business and knowing their value. I have an issue with African American women who are so boisterous that they dismiss the power of an African American man. But I know that has nothing to do with branding in the sphere of the corporate world. We're made to African American women are made to feel like we don't need an African American man in corporate. We could just be all we can be the is all the end all. But it's not true. I want to walk beside my partner or my partners, right? Why can't we all win? Why can't we all understand and interchangeably use our individual strengths, right? I don't want to be a person who's a brand marketer but also owns a nail shop in a barbecue place. I don't want to do that. Why? Because I want to individually, as an African American woman, and singularly beast out one area so that the thing is, I can know that I only have to match up with somebody else that's not in that area. So here, Alex, Willie, you guys do podcasts. I would never get in and say, okay, well, I'm gonna do a podcast too. Why? Because the thing is, I can leverage my power greater by partnering with you, right? I can leverage my power greater. I can enhance you, by just staying in my lane. Staying in my lane. And I think that a lot of women don't understand that. It's just like you can be power. This is a whole nother conversation.
Listen, though,
Submissive as well. You
Go
can't.
ahead. Go ahead.
I had a question, but
Oh,
you
that's
mentioned some.
okay.
No, wait, because I had a question, but you
Okay.
mentioned something that I saw my partner Alex cringed up when you said it. So I'm gonna go ahead and let him take the floor because I think I know what he about to comment on. But go ahead, Alex. I want to bring you in on that. I saw that face you made.
Hold on. Wait. What? No. Hold on. Go ahead, man.
This
No,
is
no,
topic.
because we had a topic
Okay.
a while back, and it was the strain between men and women,
No, it's right between black men and black
black
women.
men and black women. So to hear you say that you like the value and importance of walking beside your man,
Mhm.
you just dropped so much knowledge because and even now, like, just go ahead, Alex, because go ahead.
Can I say something just real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Just on this subject, and this also applies to my business as well. Okay. I did not start making real money until I got married. I didn't start
Mm.
making. I've made more being a married woman, understanding the discipline and order. See, there's a hierarchy, y'all. Okay, there's a hierarchy, right? And so the thing is, when I was an independent woman, and the thing is, I understand this because I speak on both sides of the fence as a boss, um, African American woman who owns her own business and the whole, bowl of chicken soup, right? When I was operating as a super superior independent woman, I still felt like I had lack. And the thing is, I operated in that lack and it translated into how much money I made. It was not until I actually got married and I understood what submission looked like. And submission and being able to also confidently stay in my lane as well and be myself. It wasn't until I got that level of confidence and balance to I be getting my bank account. I was like, wow, I should have got married earlier. Because the thing is, just like life, right? The thing is, God created yin and yang. You have to have a negative and a positive, right? And so the thing is, a woman can't be both a negative and a positive. You have to be either the negative or the positive because it has to balance out. And so the thing is, when I was being that independent woman and being all myself, I was burning myself out. I was taking calls at 2 o'clock in the morning, And the thing is, I didn't understand. I was just working, 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 and I had no balance. I didn't know what I was. I was all over the place because I was trying to be that boss chick. But the thing is, what people don't tell you is get a person that's able to tell you go to sleep. take a shower, get some rest, eat a sandwich. Like, because these independent women right now, they're running, they're going,
Man,
they're
you
going.
was on fire. Oh my God. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so the thing is like we're so independent to the point where we don't want to listen, but we're burning ourselves out and we're crying we want to commit suicide, but then we won't admit the truth.
So I got to jump in because you just said enough for a course, for a 12
Because
part course.
the crazy thing is, Alex, I thought I had the clip, the preview clip. Then she
Nah,
said some
man, we
more
got
knowledge.
about
I'm like,
50
oh my
preview clips tonight.
God.
Yeah,
I'm not
we got a bunch of clips tonight.
it's not a popular I'm
No,
not.
it's not.
Yeah,
And I can't wait to see
but
these
it's based
comments.
off of experience. I've been on both sides. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I can't wait to see the comment section when we post this video because you're gonna have a lot of women and men in the comments. But I do have a very specific question. You touched on a point, and I think a lot of women need to hear this. You said you were single, but your business was rocking, but you didn't really have balance in your life.
I didn't.
When you got married, then that's where you found balance. But there was probably a transition period from when you were single to when you got married where you had to accept that you needed that balance.
Hmm.
And you said you didn't really start making money until you got married. So talk a little bit about that process going from being this independent woman, I can do it all by myself, and you have this like this theory nowadays where if a woman is making money, she don't need a man, right? Versus your mindset now that you are actually a wife, but you're making more money than you ever had with your husband. Can you talk to our guests a little bit about that and the mindset that you have now versus then?
So, Alex and Willie, I will never forget the moment where I honestly realized that. Hold on one second. Let me just take this really quickly. Sorry. There was one distinct moment where I will never forget that I was literally sitting in my car. I had witnessed seven of my friends get married, and I couldn't understand. Hold on one second. I watched seven of my friends get married, and I had a nice, beautiful. It was kind of set up like a loft apartment, very posh, very nice. I was living in New York at the time, and I was living in Binghamton, New York, which is like about 3 hours from New York City. And my twin sister lived there as well, and so it was just natural that we would be together. And I would have these elaborate parties, right? Because I'm a boss, right? So I have the mayor, excuse me, the mayor at my house, and at this party, and socialites, African American socialites, um, at this party. I mean, guys, I mean, some of the finest men that you could ever meet hitting on me and serving up drinks in the whole nine. And once the party was over, everybody left, and it was a good time. A good time was had by all. And I went to my car and I cried. I mean, I had one of those gut cries, the cries that you cry so hard that you can't even articulate any words, that like you're crying from your soul. You can't. I mean, and it's so. I mean, like you can feel it in your chest. And I was crying so hard, and I told God to take my life. I told God to take my life. Now, let me push pause right there. I just had the best party comparable to in the world. Think of like every single celebrity in the world at this party. Bottles, drinks, go. I mean, just amazing. I mean, just should be celebrated on all single levels at my house. At my house. Socialites, the most gorgeous men and the most beautiful women at my home having a house party, the mayor of the city at my house. And right after that party, I'm in the car asking God to take my life.
Wow, that's heavy.
And I told the Lord, I told the Lord that I was a wimp and that I couldn't do it. Like I couldn't do it, so I wanted him to do it. Like it didn't matter if at that point, like if I had a heart attack, like I was really just ready to accept whatever level of death. Like if the car was gonna blow, like it was like just do it.
Wow. Let's
And I was gonna say, 2 weeks after that, 2 weeks after that, I got a message on Facebook, and it was just I was just putting a random message that said like I'm so tired of all of my friends getting married, and I live this glamorous life, and it's just like is there. I was just tired of being so strong. I was tired because the thing is nobody they have these sayings on Facebook, check on your strong friend, check on your strong friend. And I was so strong that I was a shell of a person because I was just so revered. And I had clients and everything. And the thing is, I had more money, but I spent so much. I wasn't tithing. I didn't have balance. I wasn't paying my bills. I was just everywhere and all over the place. 2 weeks later, after a 7 year stint of being single, 2 weeks later, Mark Carthon messaged me and he was like, "Yo, you okay?" And the funny thing is, guys, nobody had even asked me that. Nobody had even asked me, "Yo, you all right? Are you okay? Do you need anything?" I'm designing for the greatest celebrities in the world, ready to kill myself. It was not until I got married, until I realized that I had to slow down. I had to like breathe some fresh air. I had to take a pause. I had to actually take a shower because there were some days that I was working so hard that I wouldn't even get in the bathtub. You know what I'm saying? And so the thing is, and the thing is, as quick as I was getting money, as quick as it was going out the door. I didn't even understand the premise. My mom is a pastor. My dad is a pastor. And I hated the church so much that I equivocated tithing to a pastor taking your money. We get into a whole nother subject, but it's all relative. And so the thing is, I wasn't tithing. I didn't. I just, I was just everywhere. And he said, what you need is a reset. You need to go to sleep. You need to balance out. After a while, you need to shut your computer off. Watch a movie. And who's telling these independent women to do this? Like you will. I don't care who looks at this podcast. An independent woman will lie to you, but they can't lie to me because I was you. I know exactly how you feel. I know exactly what you're going through. And you want a man, but society has told you you are the man. You're not. You're not. You can never be a man. We're women who were forced into an idea that we had to be this way. But there's nothing wrong with making your money, but there's something even greater about making money and doing it with someone who understands that sometimes you need to stop and you need to focus. Because the thing is, as a person who's a 3 figure, 4 figure, 5 figure, because the thing is, the more money, more problems. You're gonna make the more money you make, the more help you're going to need to balance out. And so you have independent women right now who is gonna message you and be like, she's right. I didn't want to say it on camera because I have to be strong right now. I have to play like she ain't telling the truth. But I had to realize that I needed that balance. And when I got that balance and that structure and that order, and the thing is, even the advice from a man who listens to God, and I had to start tithing. I did. It wasn't until I started doing all of that that I actually am able to enjoy the fruits of my labor. I'm able to enjoy my clients even more. I'm able to enjoy what I do even more because I can select who I work with. I'm not desperate. I don't have to do any of this. I don't have to do anything but stay black and die. I choose to do this because this is what I love to do. But I can select who I work with now because my peace of mind is the most important thing that I can that it can. You can't get back time. You can't get back time. And so again, when I work with people, I only listen. I can show you my inbox now. There are people who I want to work with you. I don't work with everybody. I pick and I select and I choose based off of what I feel like you're going to go and how you feel like you're going to grow and just your spirit. Because the thing is, before I was working with people who were just dirty money. Dirty money. I got, all money is not good money. It's true. Because the thing is, what's the spirit attached to the thing you have to do is all relative. Making money has nothing to do about with making money. It has everything to do about who you are, where you are.
First of all, you don't know how much that makes me and Willie feel special right now that we were amongst the selected. Honestly, because even when you designed for the project I was working with, and that was what 2, 3 years ago.
Was it Funkyard?
Yeah, yep, it was Funkyard, and
Yeah.
so yeah, that is like, man, how did I ever forget that I got a chance to work with her? But before we close out, and we're definitely gonna have you back for part two because this
Okay.
interview has been amazing.
Yeah, because my wife started something too. She like, I want her to make my logo.
I got it. No, I got her. I got her back.
Yeah, but you talked about you had a breakdown,
Yep.
and before we close out, I want you to talk about the process of recovery
Hmm.
and how you were able to reset, and the fact that you said your parents are both pastors and you ended up marrying a pastor. I thought that part was hilarious. I thought that part was
Do
hilarious.
you,
But no,
do you guys know? I'm gonna talk to the audience. Do you all know how much I tried to not marry a musician and a pastor, and I smack that? But God knows what you need. God, yes. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, it's cool. Just talk to us a little bit about that road to recovery,
Hmm.
the process, how you had to reset. Maybe things you had to take a examination of your life and
Hmm.
all that was going on. Maybe people that you were around for whatever reason, and you had to look at everything and say, "This isn't working for me. I need to change some things in my life. I need to do things differently." Talk to us a little bit about that.
The way the recovery process went is actually been I've been married to my husband almost 9 years and and literally up to the day. It's still a process, but the way it went was me being vulnerable and me being admitting it, like literally admitting that I needed help. There were a whole bunch of childhood things that I had gone through that I wanted to kind of skate over. And my husband said to me, "You need counseling. You may have some mental stuff going on that you need to get out of your system. Before you can help your client, you have to figure out what's going on with you emotionally, because never make your client pay for what your parents did." Ouch. I had to take that. Like, I'm like, some of the things that I was doing, I didn't even know. And he was just like, "Yeah, you may need to check on that. You may need to get that checked out." So just going to counseling, being able to, I did a lot of mindset work. Like even to this day I do it, but I every single night when I go to sleep, there's some type of motivational affirmation, listening to the Bible, type of stuff that I would do every single night, and I've done it for the last 8 years. And people don't think it works, and they think it's hokey pokey, but it actually does work. It just really, sometimes our minds need to be reset because we have a whole bunch of ideas and messages and things that was going on, from childhood, that we still haven't taken care of. And I had to actually believe that I was worth everything that my husband was saying I was worth. Again, ladies, there's nothing like a man telling you you're beautiful, but there's nothing even greater than knowing that you're beautiful, right? So I had to go through 8 years of resetting my whole mindset, and it took a lot. I mean, and the thing is again, it's not a one-off situation. I still do it. I'm still working to this day to make sure that I understand my worth and begin and continue to tell myself that. And so to wrap it up, mindset work, self care, a lot of self-care, making sure my just small things like making, again, which is weird, making sure I take a shower every day. I know that's like
Man, you
minimal.
know what? You keep
Brushing
saying
my
that.
teeth.
Is
Like,
are there a few women out there who aren't showering that we should know about or something?
In the
Uh,
comment section, not showering.
oh man, I can't wait to read these comments.
yeah, the comment section about to pop off. So I mean, I think that, no, I've actually heard of some women, again, where you're so immersed in the work that you're doing that you're so zoned in that you just like, it could be days later and you're like, oh, I gotta take a shower. And like, yeah, sis, you might want to take care of that
Mm, got it.
because they're so focused. They're so focused. I mean, I've even heard of some celebrities they're in the studio again for long hours, and to the point where they don't stop. It's like 24/7. They get maybe an hour of sleep and hit some cocaine or up or a Molly or something like that, and just I see Willie laughing like, I'm serious. It's a thing. And I was driving that hard and going absolutely nowhere fast. And so, yeah, I mean, there were, and the thing is, so I will preface this, guys, for those who's watching, who's probably coming from me in the comments. It's okay. But I also came from, my twin sister and I was between 10 and 13 years old. We lived homeless in a church, in a Sunday school room of a church for about 4 years. I talk about that in my Les Brown interview. Um, but yeah, we lived homeless 3 years in the church, so that a lot of that also default stuff came from that. We were like washing up in buckets and washing up in the sink and stuff, taking, half showers. I don't know what they call it today, but they called it a, you know, short shower. Like washing up out of the sink.
Right.
So
Washing
yeah,
up.
so I mean, like, that's it. And the thing is, once I got into these modes of working, sometimes I would just, go into the next day and just throw on some more clothes and, pop on some deodorant and, go at it. But I don't do that no more. I promise you, I've taken a shower every day for the last 9 years,
Twice a day.
twice a day. Finish
Right.
the flesh. I'm good.
So I just have one last question, and then we'll wrap this up. First of all, when can we have you back on? That's
Whenever
our
you
first.
guys are ready, I'm ready. Let's go. I mean,
Yeah, because this interview's been amazing.
thank you. Yes, I know that I'm not the popular opinion, and the thing is, I've been waiting to say some of the ways I feel about women, femininity, independence. So maybe the next time we talk, we can really go into that a little bit deeper, because it's really a really a good. I have a strong position on it, but
No,
I've been positive.
you are the necessary opinion because Black Culture Podcast, it's Black excellence, for the culture, by the culture. But one of the things that we believe in heavily, and me and Willie talk about this a lot on camera, off camera, is unity. And the unity between Black men and Black women has to be strong, and we as a community are going to thrive. Um, my last question, I want to segue back to your business for a quick second,
Yeah.
and that is, so you're set up, you're rocking, beautiful, talented, and successful. What does the future look like for you? I know you have goals, you have strides that you want to make. There's trends in your space that you want to take advantage of. So what are some of the goals that you have lined up that are up and coming?
So scale, right? And so the thing is, for the last 20 years, I have actually been helping entrepreneurs, small business owners, celebrities, influencers actually create and craft their brand so that they can really, connect with their audience. And now I'm ready to scale because I've capped out, right? And so I think that you guys are probably, outside of, Willie's wife, probably the last brand clients that I will be doing, because I will be transitioning to actual agency, a done for you agency, and also classes and courses, because I feel like the expertise and the information I have needs to be shared with a broader audience. And so I am actually within the on the 15th, the first leg, the beta series of the celebrity sales method, which details everything, my entire brain on paper. I mean, it's just it's dope, right? Because I'm not getting any younger. I'm ready to buy my time back. And so basically my brain on paper is the celebrity sales method. It's just basically giving you every single secret that I have ever used in the branding space in order for me to make money, in order for me to like sharpen my mindset, in order for me to get clients. I'm spilling everything. Yeah. And so so that's the future, just teaching and educating, and then doing high-end one-on-one clients. That's the future, because I want my clients to not just be a brand. I want us as African Americans to really, really like get that 40 acres and a mule. And I can't do that by just having one-off projects. I need to teach and I need to educate. So that is the future.
Wow, nice. How can our viewers, our audience find you? Social media, website, email. How can they get in contact with you?
So my yeah, the best way is Carthon Consulting Group with 1G.com. So it's Carthon Consulting Group 1G.com. And everything you need to know is right there. You can book me, you can schedule a consultation. I have a 15-minute free consultation for right now. But I will be pretty soon, I will be doing classes and courses. So a lot of the questions that most people will be asking me will be in my course platform. But for right now, Carthan Consulting Group with 1G.com. And then also on social media, Sharita M. Carthan on all social media.
Hands down, one of the best interviews we've done. Women's Week, the
Yeah,
Black Culture Podcast. I think we need to
man.
do another Women's Week. So
Okay.
really, I'm gonna just go ahead and nominate the week after next. We're
Okay.
gonna have her back because it's just too much that we have to talk about. You gave up so much game,
Yeah,
and I
because I
think you
got a
helped.
topic I want to touch on with her, but we're gonna talk about that off camera because we don't want nobody stealing our stuff in the
Well,
comments.
no, I'm stealing their stuff. Okay. Clients,
Right.
listen, I'm stealing my clients' content now.
Exactly.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, man. You got anything left, Willie?
Nah, listen, I'm not gonna mess that up. We gonna end on that note.
You gonna
That
end on
was
that note?
fire.
That was straight fire. We want to thank you so much for your time,
Absolutely.
for your wisdom. You helped a lot of people, including me. I learned a lot about this space. It's amazing. I've been in marketing for a while, but when it comes to being a brand precision expert, one, I didn't actually know anything beyond graphics, and the process. I mean, all right, you see brands like Nike, Amazon, all these huge brands, but they have entire teams behind them, that are really helping those brands to stay at the top level, and to know that there's a woman in our community that's helping our businesses to go to that level. Man, that's game, and we definitely got to get this message out there. Before we close out, do you have anything that you want to say to the audience? Maybe say to up and coming business owners, other artists, women in general, as a word of encouragement, or anything that you want to say to uplift the people.
Yes. I want to say be unapologetic about who you are, what you do, and what you charge. Period. And take a shower every single day.
Hashtag take a shower when we put the
Hashtag take
title
a
up.
shower.
Definitely, definitely. Take a shower, brush your teeth, comb your
Brush your
hair.
teeth, comb your hair. Right. It was important. I mean, just a little. But no, seriously, be unapologetic about who you are, what you do, and what you charge. That is my motto, moving forward to the future, because I think that when you are apologetic, you're backtracking on your greatness. And I just think that personally, no diss to any other race, but African Americans are the dopest human beings on the face of the earth. and we have been downsized, ostracized, hoodwinked, and told a whole bunch of lies and stories that don't match up with who we really are as people. And I just thank God that the Black Culture Podcast is changing that narrative, and that that they have been put themselves in a position where they are bringing on people who will be able to talk to our real greatness. So
That is the dopest endorsement we've received right now.
Yes, it
That's
was.
absolutely the dopest endorsement. And we're going to close out like that. So, in the Women's Week, ladies and gentlemen, the great Sherita Carthon. Um, we're going to have it in the comments section, how to get in contact with her. Definitely having her on for a part two. Peace.
Peace.